Good evening, YouTube. Yes, this is your favorite paralyzed YouTuber that's new to YouTube slash TikToker that's not new to TikTok. My name is Living Legend. You know, this is a part two or a follow up of me making a video telling how I became paralyzed and how life changed so sudden for me in a drastic way. So the last video I made, it was just explaining to you the day what happened to me, how I ended up becoming paralyzed. With this part two now, I'll be more than likely describing to you the next day. Because after my accident the day, I just when I feel stressed out, I just when I go sleep. I'll be honest with you now. A lot of people don't know that the day of my accident wasn't really that stressing. It was the day after my accident where really hit me hard. Because I went to sleep, I was just picturing like everything being normal. I had a dream that everything was back to normal, and you know everybody up and running. And I just had a dream that everything I could remember about the accident wasn't real. And then I woke up the next morning. When I woke up, the first thing I heard, like I woke up, I never want to open my eye. I don't know if anybody have ever an incident where you wake up but you really just don't want to open your eye if you realize what really going on. I wake up and I don't want to open my eye, and I hear one nurse say, "Mr. Fletcher, you want some water for drink?" I just kiss my teeth. That throw me off. Like, I just kiss my teeth and the specs. And it's like, when she said that, I tell her to call one porter. And when the porter comes, I say to the porter, I say, "Yo, call wife, call woman off my phone." And he call woman. When he call woman, I said to woman, I said, "Babes, what happened to me?" And she said, "What, me, I lose your memory?" So I said, "No." She said, "Because you know, accident last night and you can't move and you wake up and ask me what happened to you." And I said, "No, babes, I remember some things, but I really just never wanted to be true." You understand? Like, that day was one of the most horrific days for me. Not the day of my accident, you know, the day when I have to really admit what really is something to me. Like, the whole rest of the day, then care food comes and I don't really want no food. I just sit down on the Netflix, I don't want to see color Netflix all day, so I just look on the roof the whole day and like, I think to myself and I say, from I know myself, I never dishonest yet, from I know myself, I never rob people, from I know myself, I never go around people, I never style people yet. So like, if you just want to leave me in one state of just thinking to yourself, why you would have to go through something like this? You know, like we grow up and we see things happen to people sometimes, and you have to think say people karma, you say people what do think da. But guys, you talk to one guy, I tell you from I know myself, I never have nobody, I trim people, I used to do barbering. I trim people from me at 16, one job never do. So like, it hit me hard, man. When I wake up the next morning, I feel really accept the fact that like right now, for the time, the first time I realize I can't move my hand them. And keep in mind, you know, I can lift up the hand them now and lift up the arm them and everything. But at first it just happened to me, it strike me hard, man, because remember I said, as a person which was a barber, and my hands make all the money for me, and the item I trade, I make everything for me. And to go in an accident like when I'm going in, the first thing I realize is you can't move your hand them. It lit my brain like it lit me on my brain for 6 like me there thinking all day and I said, how this is gonna work, you know? Like, how this is gonna work? How this is gonna work? And it's like it just leave you in a state of wondering. Just wondering, because you said, God say, no, you want me to go through something like this, like I tell you. Like, even though I think about the day, a lot of people think that the day of my accident was the worst one. It wasn't the day of my accident, it was actually the day after my accident. When my office swallow the pill, say, right now, for now, you can't move. And you see, honestly, me I move now, this is a lot. When I just became paralyzed, I couldn't even turn my head, but just on that said so. I couldn't lift my shoulder, I couldn't nothing. So like, if I look, I have to ask somebody to turn me the way. If I look on next day, I have to ask somebody to turn me the way. Couldn't nothing for myself. If I call somebody, I have to say, oh, take up my phone, come take up the phone and call the number and put it on speaker. You know, big up the medical system down here still though, because one thing I can tell you, in my paralysis, and I'm going to do a story time about all the experiences I've had after this, but you see, since I've been paralyzed, God has just blessed me to where I meet a lot of nice nurses, a lot of nice porters, a lot of nice janitors, a lot of nice doctors. Like they just don't deal with me no way. Like them, like I think it's because them see the fight where you know me, so me really a fight. Them respect the fact that they see me a fight, so they just nobody don't make nothing harder for me. I never tell no lie, I never come here something. Nobody makes nothing harder for me. everybody always try their best to help me, and I always try my best to be understanding. Especially, you guys got to remember, I live in Jamaica, guys. I live in Montego Bay. I live in a country where most of these hospitals are very short staff and underpaid. So, you know, people are going to be frustrated. So sometimes me call a nurse to wipe my face. And me see she over there so down patient what I have seizure or something sometimes. I have to just have a look at understanding, say, yeah, even when I can't wipe my face, what out look a bit and just have a look at understanding, you understand? Well, this is just my part two. And I think this is a power a lot of people need to understand, because a lot of people are really still blind to the fact that the day of my accident wasn't the worst day. It was the day when I wake up and have to accept it. This is what you go through right now. Yeah, Jano, like, I think about it now is like nobody not even me. I tell you the truth, when I think about my condition, I'm currently a quadriplegic. I'm paralyzed from the top of my chest down. I'm gonna do a story time about my mobility. The most I can say is I would really hope nobody not go through nothing like what I go through. Like when we meet people who going through things similar to mine, it make me feel sad. Because you see, because I know in my brain like it pressures. Like picture somebody there and one mosquito is on my leg. I'm here to call somebody. If I can move a mosquito from my leg. And you know, sometimes when people are in situations like mine, people misunderstand. Like they think that you might like calling them because you have to get the help, but they don't realize it really a break it down inside for no, so you have to call for help. Like a lot of people don't comprehend that. How they feeling or how you feel after they ask people to do everything for you, because I'm physically dependent. So people bathe me, people feed me, people turn me, people do everything, brush my teeth. But as I said, this is just my little story, my little part two story. Just letting you know, like, the day that really struck me the hardest, you know. Follow me, like, share, subscribe, comment. I'm gonna do some other parts, like explaining step by step phases I went through, things that happened to me, you know, goods, the bads, the happies, the sads. Yeah, we are the YouTube. Big up on yourself.